Alright, I've been testing and comparing the k&fconcept Pocket 3 filters for the past week, and today I want to share the results with you to help you decide whether you should get these filters or the Freewell ones. However, before I begin, I want to mention that k&fconcept and Freewell sent all these filters to me for free for a review. With that said, let's start with the price. For the most part, the k&fconcept filters are cheaper. For example, the ND4 to ND32 set and the ND8PL to ND64PL set together cost only $69, whereas Freewell's similar set is $100. However, instead of an ND4 filter, Freewell includes a CPL filter, which I honestly find more useful. Next, if we look at the VND filters, the k&fconcept VND 1 to 5 and 5 to 9 filter set costs only $36, whereas the Freewell VND set costs $70. However, Freewell offers a mist version, which k&fconcept does not. And finally, if you want to buy a single filter, such as a diffusion filter or CPL filter, k&fconcept charges around $20 depending on the filter, while Freewell charges $30. Now, to make things even cheaper, you can use the code ROMA at checkout on the k&fconcept website to get an extra 20% discount on all products, including tripods, backpacks, filters, etc. However, if you decide to go with Freewell, I recommend going for the Mega Pack collection, which includes 14 different filters and costs only $150, which I think is a reasonable price for the number of filters you get. But there is no doubt that the k&fconcept filters are a much better value. Now, what about the design, build quality, and optical performance? Is Freewell's higher price tag worth it? Well, in terms of build quality, both filters are made of metal, but I would say the Freewell filters feel slightly more premium. Regarding weight, the k&fconcept filters are a bit lighter, averaging around 1.2 grams, while the Freewell filters weigh about 1.4 to 1.5 grams. This doesn't make a significant difference when using these filters with the camera. I even tried stacking two filters at the same time, and I had no issues with the gimbal when using either the k&fconcept or Freewell filters. However, I guess if you're going to get a lot of these filters, it's going to be slightly lighter with k&fconcept. Next, regarding storage, I prefer the Freewell case. Not only is it easier to open because it's magnetic, but it's also much simpler to take out a filter because the filters are better exposed, whereas the k&fconcept case has the filters positioned deep inside the chip foam, which makes them harder to remove. However, at least each k&fconcept case comes with a screen protector for the Pocket 3, which is pretty nice. Next, both filters have strong magnets to keep them securely attached to the camera, along with cutouts on the sides for easy removal. But if you use a filter with a ring in the middle, like the CPL filter for example, it will be much easier to remove with Freewell because the ring is slightly larger and more comfortable to grip, which also makes it much easier to rotate the ring when it's mounted on the camera. However, one major difference between these filters, and it might be what makes you choose the k&fconcept filters, is that the k&fconcept filters can fold with the camera when you turn it off, whereas the Freewell filters cannot. I've tested 12 different k&fconcept filters with my Pocket 3, and all of them were able to fold with the camera, making them so much more convenient to use. As far as I know, k&fconcept is the only brand that allows you to do this. Even the DJI filters don't fold with the camera. Regardless, let's talk about the optical performance, starting with the k&fconcept VND filters. For my tests, the 1 to 5 stop VND filter doesn't produce a significant amount of vignetting or loss of sharpness, even when set to maximum strength. However, it does introduce a noticeable red/warm tint, particularly at maximum strength, and the 5 to 9 stop VND filter performs much worse. It shows significantly more vignetting and the image becomes even warmer, especially at maximum strength. Unfortunately, I don't have the Freewell VND filters for the Pocket 3, so I can't tell you which ones are better. However, if you value color accuracy in your filters, the k&fconcept VND filters are not the best option, but they are very convenient for quickly adjusting exposure, and they do have hard stops at the beginning and end to help avoid introducing the SFX patterns. Now, when it comes to the regular ND filters, I actually really like how the k&fconcept ones perform. The ND4 is super clean with no visible vignetting, loss of sharpness, or color shifts. The ND8 introduces slightly more magenta into the image, but it's much better when compared to the Freewell ND8. The ND16 still looks relatively clean, while the Freewell ND16 has a slightly stronger red tint, and the ND32 delivers more or less the same performance on both filters. Now, as for the ND/PL filters, Freewell delivers slightly better results when it comes to color accuracy with the ND8PL and ND32PL, while k&fconcept does a better job with the ND16PL and ND64PL. Finally, in terms of the CPL filter, I prefer the slightly cleaner results from the Freewell filter, but both are great at reducing reflections from water, windows, etc. And when it comes to the mist filters, I actually prefer the look of the k&fconcept black diffusion filter, as it delivers slightly cleaner highlights, but the difference is negligible. To summarize, you can't really go wrong with either brand. Both deliver great results, except for the VND filters from k&fconcept, which are not the best. However, at the same time, I don't know how the Freewell VND filters perform, but one major advantage of k&fconcept is that it can fold with the camera, making it much more convenient to use, and it's also significantly cheaper, especially if you use my code ROMA at checkout. Anyhow, I will leave links for everything down below, and while you're there, don't hesitate to ask any question about anything. Thanks for watching.